Welcome to the video. Today we will expose the $100,000 trap, how high earners get crushed by consumer debt, and how to break free fast. First, we will frame the problem clearly. Next, we will compare two approaches, consolidation versus grinding it out with a structured payoff plan. Then, we will give you a tactical step-by-step using the debt avalanche. And finally, we will show you how to fix the root cause by changing spending behaviors and increasing income. Stay to the end for practical tools and a quick action plan. Here is our agenda. First, the trap and why income doesn't automatically fix debt. Second, the math behind consolidation and whether it is wise. Third, the debt avalanche method and how to execute it. Fourth, how to handle 0% promotional balance transfers without getting hit by retroactive interest. Fifth, how to address the root cause by cutting expenses and increasing income. Finally, we will wrap with a concrete action plan and resources. Before we dive in, a quick disclaimer. This content is educational and general in nature. It is not individualized financial, legal, or tax advice. Your situation may differ, so consult a licensed professional before acting on any strategy discussed here. Let's set the stage. You can be earning a high salary and even have a relatively low mortgage, yet still feel broke. The reason is substantial consumer debt, often $40,000 to $50,000 spread across high-interest credit cards and personal loans, ranging from 18 to 24% APR. These interest rates silently drain your cash flow every month, making financial freedom feel out of reach. Let's quantify the problem. With $40,000 to $50,000 of debt at interest rates between 18 and 24%, annual interest charges can run into many thousands. Multiple cards and personal loans create scattered due dates and an increased risk of fees. Minimum payments primarily service interest, barely touching principal, which slows progress dramatically. The result is a chronic cash flow squeeze and a sense of stagnation. Mathematically, consolidation can be compelling. Replacing several 20% plus debts with a single personal loan near 8% slashes interest costs and accelerates the timeline to debt freedom. If you qualify for an attractive rate and fees are reasonable, taking the offer is often prudent. It simplifies payments, reduces interest, and can provide immediate cash flow relief. Here is the tension. On the left, consolidation lowers your APR, simplifies payment logistics, and often yields a faster payoff. On the right, behavior remains the key variable. If spending habits do not change, the newly freed credit lines can refill. That creates a worse situation. Now you have the consolidation loan plus remaxed credit cards. Therefore, the math alone is not sufficient. Behavioral change must accompany any structural change. To illustrate the cost, consider three debts: $12,000 at 24%, $10,000 at 22%, and $15,000 at 18%. The approximate monthly interest on those balances is $240, $183, and $225 respectively, totaling about $648 per month. This is money that does not reduce principal and represents the drag on your cash flow. Now let's implement the avalanche. First, list every debt with its APR, balance, and minimum payment. Next, order them by highest APR to lowest. Then, pay minimums on all accounts while directing all remaining cash to the highest APR debt. When that debt is eliminated, roll the freed payment onto the next highest APR account. Rinse and repeat until you are debt-free. Automation ensures consistency, and weekly tracking maintains momentum. About promotional balance transfers. They can be powerful, but only if handled precisely. While a balance is at 0%, keep paying the minimum and direct extra cash to higher APR debts. Set calendar alerts for 60 to 90 days before the promotional period ends, so you can either pay it off or roll it to a new 0% offer. Do not allow the promotional period to expire, as the retroactive interest can be severe. Quiz time. The question is, if you replace multiple 22 to 24% debts with a single 8% loan, what is the primary financial benefit? Option A, lower monthly payment because the term is longer. Option B, lower total interest costs due to reduced APR. Option C, better credit score immediately by closing old cards. Option D, eliminates the need for behavior change. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is lower total interest costs due to reduced APR. Cutting the interest rate from roughly 22% to about 8% significantly reduces the amount of interest you pay over time. If you keep payments constant, this accelerates payoff. Note that this does not eliminate the need for behavior change. To prevent relapse, address behavior and cash flow directly. Use a zero-based budget and track spending daily. Freeze discretionary purchases until the debt is gone. Accountability. With weekly reviews and a visible payoff chart. Increase income through overtime, a second job, or a side hustle. Finally, set up a modest emergency fund so unexpected expenses do not force you back into new debt. Here are fast wins to cut expenses. First, audit the last 60 to 90 days of spending and identify the top 10 non-essential categories. Second, cancel or downgrade subscriptions and apps. Third, call your providers to negotiate lower rates for internet, phone, and insurance. Fourth, plan meals and batch cook to avoid delivery fees. Fifth, sell underused items and immediately apply the proceeds to the highest APR debt. Now, let's accelerate progress by increasing income. Ask for overtime or take shifts with differential pay. Freelance your marketable skills, whether design, writing, tutoring, or deliveries. Consider weekend work in retail or hospitality. Direct 100% of this additional income to the highest APR debt to compress your timeline. Second quiz. Which method prioritizes the highest APR debt first while paying minimums on others? Option A, debt snowball. Option B, debt avalanche. Option C, debt consolidations. Option D, debt recasting. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will review the answer in the following section. The correct answer is debt avalanche. This approach targets the highest interest rate first to minimize total interest paid and shorten the payoff period. The snowball, by contrast, prioritizes the smallest balance regardless of APR. This timeline visualizes a practical path. During months 0 to 1, list all debts, set up automation, and build a starter emergency fund. From months 1 to 3, execute expense cuts and launch the avalanche. Between months 3 and 6, add additional income streams to accelerate payments. From months 6 to 12, the top 2 highest APR debts are often eliminated. Finally, months 12 to 18 focus on clearing remaining debts and building a 3-month emergency fund. Here is a 7-day jumpstart. Day 1. List every debt with APR, balance, and minimum payment, and capture them in a simple table. Day 2. Create a zero-based budget so every dollar is assigned. Days 3 and 4. Cancel low-value subscriptions and negotiate core bills. Day 5. Launch a single income boost and pre-commit hours to it. Day 6. Automate all minimums and your avalanche payment. Day 7. Conduct a weekly review and update your payoff chart. To recap, if you qualify for a strong 8% consolidation, it can be worth doing, but only alongside behavior change. Execute the avalanche by targeting the highest APR first, automate, and track. Handle 0% promotions carefully and never let them expire. Cut expenses and add income to compress the payoff timeline. Build an emergency buffer to prevent sliding back into debt. Here are the key takeaways. First, high income does not offset 24% interest. The math dominates. Second, structural fixes help, but consistent behavior sustains results. Third, cash flow is king. Use automation, conduct weekly reviews, and keep iterating. Thanks for watching. If this video helped you, please like, share, and subscribe. In the comments, tell us your biggest win this week and what step you are taking first. Your story may help someone else start today.